Okay, schmeiß mal Mikro aus hier.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Cappuccino with Kontron. This is the Cappuccino with Kontron. We are hosting once a month at the last Monday of the month at 10 o'clock. It's a very short one. It's giving sharp information and fast information about what we are doing, what our customers are doing. And today we have the pleasure to have with us Frank Geisler. Frank Geisler is our colleague out of Dresden from KontronOS, responsible for sales. So he's the sales director. And today he will tell us about software and how software can save money. And we will show you where you can save money and your customers can save money. So that's why I'll hand over to Frank directly. And if you have any questions during this call, feel free to put them in the Q&A session. We will see them. At the end of the presentation, you will get from me an email address. It's cappuccino@contron.com, where just by sending an email, you will receive the presentation that we are showing right now. Said this, I'm not going to take more time away from Frank and his presentation. Thank you, Frank, and over to you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Thanks for having you with us. And I would like to go into software saves with V or F money, and we show you where. Overall, the entire market of the IoT units is something which is growing. So what we see is that connectivity is something which is still a topic which is fastly growing, and it affects more and more the daily life. So if you look at machine builders, factories, everybody has this topic of IoT, of connectivity. So we talk about 5,000 new units connected per minute in the world. And that comes, of course, with a huge complexity on the one hand, but also with a lot of challenges in regards of regulations, etc., as I will outline. So, but have a deeper look. Often people talk about IoT. And when it comes to our IoT, many people say, okay, that's mostly to consumer IoT, so it's not affected us. It's something we don't do in the world of industrial connectivity, but that's actually wrong. So more and more IoT topics and control levels are also on the industrial level, and we see here a market growth of 10%. So everybody who is in the industrial environment, is in the industrial IoT environment, is affected by this. And we see it in the daily life, we see it in all kinds of applications. And even there's some resistance on some customers. It's a topic which will be there, and I see a huge topic this also for the future. On the one hand, we have this potentials. On the one hand, we have this possibilities, but on the other hand, we also have a lot of regulations. And these regulations are, of course, something which make it difficult. And what we as KontronOS aim is that we fulfill these regulations in a way that we help you, that you also comply. So we see here there are some directives and some EU regulations, and some of them are probably known to you. I don't want to go into detail with these ones, but this is just something which, of course, is something which is adding a huge way complexity, as I said. But on the other hand, it's also something which affects also the daily life in regards of how I connect something, how I deal with data, how I provide software, and what kind of connectivity I'm able to supply. So when we talk about IoT connectivity within Kontron, when we talk about edge devices and so on, we always talk about this. Okay, so this was basically my starting point, saying, okay, the business is growing, we have a huge complexity, and at the same time, this whole security topic is also growing. So security becomes something which is more and more relevant. The whole IoT security market is growing, and more companies have to invest in this topic. So this is also something which we see in the industry, that customers have to invest in this, and they will invest, or they search for a partner who's helping them to deal with this issue. But at the same time, we as Kontron, of course, we asked our way, what is the price development? So how we can add value to the customers. So I asked ChatGPT about this, and ChatGPT said to me, okay, the prices are fairly constant, even reducing over time for the higher end budgets with I/O modules and so on. There is some stable price around, but this is a topic where you can't really earn money if you look at this. And of course, we at Kontron are in a market which is challenging, which is ambitious. We see a lot of competitors. So I asked also ChatGPT again, which additional features we can add. And here you see what basically ChatGPT came up. And or where I have a mark, we always provide this, or we can provide this within Kontron. So we have extra connectivity ports, we have certifications, expandable IOs, LTE, 5G, whatever. But there are also some additional features, and these are the ones which can add more value to the IoT solutions, something like security and edge processing Docker. And this is why and where Kontron comes into play. So we have these IoT gateways here, which you can see here. And then what we provide is, for instance, on each of these IoT gateways, we can run a Docker application, an edge processing application. And providing such a functionality is giving you the value that you can work with this directly, that you do not have to think about it. And we basically from Kontron can save money for you in that regard, that you do not have to think about how you implement it. And it will be part of a software solution from Kontron in combination with the hardware. And also security, as I outlined, which becomes more and more important in this growing market, is something we address. So we have a secure OS system, which secures the entire system. We have a secure connectivity. We have VPN tunneling. So things like this are part of our solutions, our bundles, where basically we can offer you something which takes complexity and also regulations away from you. And here are the options we have. You will see them also later. So we have some low-end budget components. We have some components which are a little bit more powerful, and the high-end application systems, which combine software and hardware. But at the same time, we also see that connectivity is important. So I asked again ChatGPT, what is the additional cost for an OPC license? Here you see the typical players which are on the market. You see it's roughly 500-600 euros, which are relevant for having an additional OPC license. What we offer here as Kontron is also, for instance, the KBox 8251 with the FabEagle Connect. And the Connect is a platform and a connectivity package which provides connectivity with like OPC, REST, Modbus, and you can easily connect your devices, machines, systems into IT and OT. So the Connect, as I said, is like a connectivity package which you can use to provide the linkage between several systems, and it can be an option and an add-on on a hardware device. Here you can see also how it's structured. So we have basically the edge device and part as a Docker application. The FabEagle Connect can run within this application. Here again, you see the advantage of having Kontron. You have the Kontron itself, providing the hardware. It provides, but also at the same time, the connectivity, and it also provides the cloud agent and so on. So I'm already at the end of my presentation. Software adds value, saves money. Yes, it does, because what we see, we can increase the value by adding software to the package. We can reduce complexity out of your daily life. We save money because you do not have to deal with it. We reduce complexity in regards of standards and so on. And last but not least, we are also your one-stop shop partner at the end for all the upcoming regulations and so on you have to tackle. Okay, so my 10 minutes are over. Thank you all for the time you spent. I hope it was not too fast, but I just wanted to add as much as possible, of course, and I wish you a good start in the week.
Thank you very much, Frank. It was great and fast presentation. It was very good to have an overview. Guys, you may have seen that in the chat I put the email. If you would like to have this presentation, just send us an email to cappuccino@kontron.com. Frank, thanks again. Very sharp, crisp, and it shows how we can save money with software. The next session of Cappuccino with Kontron for customers is going to be again next month, last Monday at 10 o'clock. The invitation will follow within the next 10 days. Thanks to everybody and have a great week. Thank you.
Thank you.